Enchas Nanaktush in Kukushin, Lil Ulkan Ukhumuch. Today I want to talk about National Indigenous Veterans Day. It's we recognize the veterans of the First Nations people in Canada on November 8th. And the history behind that is that in Winnipeg, they realized that First Nations people that served in World War I and II were not recognized at all. And actually, the history goes on to show that when they joined the army, their status was taken away from them. And when they came back, they didn't get the same benefits as other Canadians that had served. And so they wanted to recognize the Indigenous peoples of this country for their contribution to serving in World War I and II, and then also to recognize that it was voluntary for them. And when I think about this, because my grandfather, Joe Joseph, served in World War II, and the story goes, I don't know why they were, I'm not sure exactly how this story comes about, but, because, so his name came up, and they couldn't find him, the people, so they were going to put him as somebody who is fleeing the effort for the war. But the people were like, no, don't do that. You can't find him because at this time of the year, he goes up into the mountains and they train horses up there. And you just send a message, he'll come right away. And so sure enough, the message got to my grandfather, and he was like, oh. So he right away jumped on the train and traveled and signed up, and he willingly did that, even though he had gone to residential school, and obviously his status was taken from him because he had joined the war. And when you left the reserve for a bit of time, your status would automatically be taken away from you. And so I think about these things, and I think, what a conundrum, what a strange way to honor or dishonor people. First you take their land away from them, then you take their children away from them, and then you take away, try to take away their status, which was a link to them being Indigenous. And then also, because you take away their status, they're not recognized as Indigenous, but they're also not recognized as Canadians. And so I just want you to think about this when today, okay?